Hello, I'm Christina Sindrich, and welcome to Spotlight on AWE. Now, if you're not familiar with our network, be sure to check us out on channel 470 or 1470 for high definition, and prepare for intelligent entertainment that will have you living vicariously. On today's Spotlight, we have a wealth of entertainment. We're showcasing some of our favorite upcoming episodes that are airing only on AWE. From dream vacation destinations to luxury palatial properties, this is the network that has just what you're looking for. First up, we're going to check out one of the world's most exclusive platinum playgrounds. Grab your snow gear because we're heading to Switzerland with host Victoria Robertson.
It's hard to really capture the magnetic draw that this alpine village has on people from all over the world, attracting celebrities, royals, and snow sports fanatics alike. Verbier is the type of town that you can show up on your own and quickly make 10 new best friends. Here you can be surrounded by some of the most affluent people in the world, but there's a lack of pretentiousness, and your skills on the slopes have just as much rank as your pocketbook. Tucked away in the southwestern canton of Valais, Verbier is a holiday resort in the Swiss Alps, famous for its off-piste terrain.
So anything that's not maintained is off-piste. Ideally, it's untouched fresh powder. That's what everyone's looking for. Skiing outside of the groomed, prepared piste, which is not secured, not controlled, not patrolled, but a lot of fun to ski. So if you're prepared to put skins on or walk a little bit, you usually find the best snow, the nicest terrain to ski in.
The first spot to seek out upon arrival is a boutique ski shop like Ski Service to make sure that you are properly equipped for your platinum experience.
The equipment, yeah, it plays a major role in being able to access now. It's so much easier for the normal person. The skis are much lighter. They have a lot of things which is called rocker, which the skis are turned up. So it allows the ski to enter into the snow, and the turn is easier. The equipment has changed everything.
One of the most popular features now is to get custom molded boots so that you have extra control on the mountain. And while you wait, Ski Service will get you set up with the latest trends to manipulate the slopes. The clothing is fashionable, yet the technical fabrics make it a practical option for extreme skiing. When it comes to fashion, some customers are more brand conscious than others. Those who seem to have a taste for high-end fashion can easily drop $2,000 to $5,000 on a practical outfit. Bright colors are still popular, and each store carries exclusive articles in limited edition so that you don't accidentally run into your friend wearing the same $2,000 Bogner jacket. With your ski equipment included, it is not uncommon for customers to spend a good $20,000 on gear per season.
To catch the full episode of Platinum Playgrounds Verbier, check your local listings for show days and times, or you can go to our schedule online at awetv.com.
So too has the sense of anticipation in this arena. There's the right hand he was talking about. He does not look like a man who's overawed by this occasion. He looks like a man that's thriving in it. Timing perfect. What a shock. And this place has just become electrified.
Did you know, in addition to AWE TV in high definition, AT&T U-verse has a huge HD channel lineup. AT&T U-verse offers one of the best values in the industry for access to high-def programming and delivers more HD channels than cable. Call AT&T U-verse today to get access to over 130 high-definition channels. There's something for everyone. Spotlight is featuring the most intriguing series airing on AWE. Our next show reports on major international issues and travels to places where reporters and camera operators are less welcome, investigating the real stories the governments don't want told. Here's foreign correspondent, Philippines, the Superstorm.
At a ferry port on the north coast of Cebu, hundreds are fleeing the aftermath of a super typhoon. We're going against the tide. 5 days on, we're heading to some of the smaller islands ravaged by the worst storm in memory. Also making the trip are exhausted and worried relatives trying to find their loved ones. This part of the Philippines has had little attention from the media or even the government, but that's not surprising. This is a nation of 7,000 islands, of which 2,000 are inhabited. The typhoon caused such widespread damage that some areas are just starting to get help. The former governor, Gwen Garcia, has been trying to bring relief here for days. She's finally managed to get a truckload of rice onto the ferry.
This is the first time that we've had such a terrible typhoon such as this.
Yeah, so this area got the full force of the typhoon.
That's right. And since the typhoon or the super typhoon was moving northwards, this area, which is the northernmost part of the province, got really, really hit very bad.
The Philippines has always suffered violent storms. But Typhoon Haiyan, known here as Typhoon Yolanda, was off the scale. It came out of the northwest Pacific, and when it made landfall, it was the strongest wind ever recorded. It bore down on the crowded city of Tacloban, bringing a surge of seawater that demolished buildings and killed thousands. The cyclone continued across this impoverished archipelago, slamming into island after island, destroying whole towns, tearing their flimsy dwellings apart. By the time it was over, the disaster zone stretched hundreds of kilometres across land and sea.
If you'd like to see this full episode of Foreign Correspondent, Philippines, the Superstorm, it's now playing on AWE, a wealth of entertainment.
Vietnam is a country covered in dense forest and tropical jungle. But beneath the surface lies the hidden world of Hang Sung Doong. In 2009, a team of explorers first entered the massive cave, and now they've returned to explore the remaining uncharted depths of this vast abyss and uncover the treasures hidden deep inside the giant cave of Vietnam.
Did you know, in addition to AWE TV in high definition, AT&T U-verse has a huge HD channel lineup. AT&T U-verse offers one of the best values in the industry for access to high-def programming and delivers more HD channels than cable. Call AT&T U-verse today to get access to over 130 high-definition channels. There's something for everyone.
I'm your provider. I'll get you anything you need. Your sole provider. Your satisfaction's guaranteed. Check out my credentials. I got all of your essentials. provider. You don't need nobody but me.
Welcome back to Spotlight, where we're bringing you the latest and greatest shows that play on AWE. Next up, our riveting historical program, World Heritage.
In the 4th century AD, Cyprus became part of the Byzantine Empire, and Greek Orthodoxy was introduced to the island. Later, though, Cyprus came under invasion by followers of Islam and other non-Christian religions. To escape the ravages of war, the inhabitants fled to the hills of the Troodos region, where they hid their villages in the valley folds. 9 of the churches in these villages have been inscribed on the World Heritage List for the Byzantine-style frescoes that still remain on their walls to this day. The churches lie discreetly in the green mountain valleys. Here, the people have kept the candle of their faith burning amid the colorful icons. Painting of the icons here in the Church of St. Nicholas continued uninterrupted from the 11th to the 16th centuries. They cover the building's interior from top to bottom. One particularly well-preserved fresco is the 40 Martyrs of Sevaste. The people portrayed here martyred themselves by confessing their faith during an age of Christian persecution.
You just watched a sneak peek of our fascinating series, World Heritage, now playing only on AWE. They're the moments that become etched in our minds, experiences that captivate and amaze us. They become the stories we share and the memories we cherish. From the most irresistible locations in the world comes a travel show with a luxurious new twist, making sure that wherever you're traveling to, you travel in style. Did you know, in addition to AWE TV and high definition, AT&T U-verse has a huge HD channel lineup. AT&T U-verse offers one of the best values in the industry for access to high-def programming and delivers more HD channels than cable. Call AT&T U-verse today to get access to over 130 high-definition channels. There's something for everyone.
History is all around us.
This 3-mile stretch is where founding fathers are immortalized in a series of epic monuments.
And the best way to experience it is on foot.
Here at the south end, the most important feature is this fella, King Charles I, mounted on his stallion.
Set out on a one-of-a-kind journey and walk in the footsteps of history on the next episode of Historic Walks.
Welcome back to Spotlight, where we're bringing you the latest and greatest shows that are playing on AWE. Palatial Passport takes the viewers back to the golden era when money was no object and the estates were epic. Here's a glimpse into the life as a Vanderbilt.
He raced cars in the early years of automobiles. He was a yachtsman of unrivaled talent and ability. A scientist, a dreamer, a celebrity, and a collector. And this was his home, an estate that 100 years later remains a monument to this larger-than-life figure, William K. Vanderbilt II.
Hello and welcome. I'm Graham Sheldon. Built in 1910, this estate houses some of the rarest artifacts the world over and was summer home to one of the wealthiest men in America. Join us as we tour Eagle's Nest on Palatial Passport.
Building the most opulent home in New York wasn't easy, but William K. Vanderbilt Jr. was the heir to one of the largest fortunes in U.S. history, and he was confident he was up to the task. The Vanderbilt family, and in turn William K., owes their fortunes to the efforts of one man, Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Cornelius Vanderbilt started a small shipping company from where he lived on Staten Island.
The story is he borrowed some money from his mother to buy his first little ferry.
He began ferrying people back and forth from the various boroughs of New York, from Staten Island to Manhattan, from Staten Island to Brooklyn. He started making a lot of money doing that because there was a need for it. People needed to get from one borough to another. He was a really, really sharp businessman. And he knew that as long as his competitors weren't making money, that he didn't have to worry. So he would ferry people for free rather than allow them to go on his competitors' lines. And he would advertise it that way. He also had his wife start a little bed and breakfast inn type place. So he would ferry people, drop them off at the inn, which was owned and operated by his wife, and then they'd continue on their journey the next day. So he was making money all the way around. Cornelius really was good at getting people to places cheaper and faster than anyone else, and that's why he was so successful.
His success translated into dollar signs for the Vanderbilt family.
They reported that at one time, the Vanderbilt family had more money than the U.S. government.
All this wealth had to go somewhere, and upon Cornelius's death, the majority was given to one lucky son.
He left the bulk of his money to one son named William Henry Vanderbilt.
Giving the money to William Henry Vanderbilt proved to be Cornelius's last great business decision. He died in 1877, having defined American transportation for decades. William Henry immediately capitalized on New York's location as a transport hub and expanded railway lines throughout the Northeast.
William Henry doubled the family fortune. He was an excellent businessman, and branches of the Vanderbilt family, not directly Henry, but there's a few branches of the family, owned nearly every railroad in the United States at one time or another.
With this vast transport empire, the Vanderbilts had a historic fortune and weren't shy about spending it. They went on to build some of the most famous homes in the U.S., estates like the Breakers and Marble House, and of course, Eagle's Nest.
To see this episode of Palatial Passport Eagle's Nest, go to AWE channels 470 or 1470 and enjoy a wealth of entertainment.
The Muslim Brotherhood is an international movement, the goal of which is to create an Islamic state all over the world.
In my mind, the Muslim Brotherhood is the mother of all Islamic organization of the 20th century, including Al-Qaeda.
They believe that Western civilization is corrupt, is evil, is decadent, and they want to dismantle it.
Did you know, in addition to AWE TV in high definition, AT&T U-verse has a huge HD channel lineup. AT&T U-verse offers one of the best values in the industry for access to high-def programming and delivers more HD channels than cable. Call AT&T U-verse today to get access to over 130 high-definition channels. There's something for everyone.
Italy is all about coffee and cafes. The great cafes of Italy are treasures. They allow us to experience some of the historical and stylish things about Italy. And they also show us why the rest of the world has such a romance with Italian culture. My name is Paul Curry, and I have the best job in the world. I am on a coffee lover's journey through Italy. My search for great coffee in the finest cafes in the world. The Great Italian Cafe.
We're back with more sneak peeks from AWE, and our series WOW is uncovering Geneva, Switzerland, and its snow-covered charm that attracts visitors from all over the world.
This city is all graciousness and hospitality. No wonder it is considered the peace capital of the world. From decadent chocolates to fine handcrafted watches, we are going to discover the luxurious side of Geneva. And make sure you're on time, because this episode of WOW leaves right on schedule. There are several different kinds of luxury, and they can all be found here in the heart of Europe. To experience ultimate service and style, come visit the timeless city of Geneva. When I think Geneva, I think wealth. This makes a lot of sense because 80% of the business is banking, finance, and watches. But how did this reputation come about? As the largest body of water in Switzerland, the lake is a throughway for the Rhone River. This historically made it a vital center for trade. Even in the Middle Ages, goods from the Orient were transported with sailed flatboats over alpine passes to Lake Geneva and then onwards toward the Mediterranean.
The beginning of the 19th century was starting to develop their travel business, transportation. Railway was not developed yet, really. Car industry was not existing yet, cannot imagine. So how did people transport their goods? With the boats. And so they said, okay, let's build a palace here.
Geneva needed a grand place to host more affluent people coming to the city. Switzerland didn't have the royalty that other countries had in Europe, and therefore no location in the 19th century to host high dignitaries. So the authorities of the city of Geneva built a palace hotel for that #1 purpose.
There was a hotel built by the city of Geneva to host the high dignitaries coming.
Hotel de Berg, built in 1834, was the first hotel in Geneva. Today, the historical landmark is operated by the Four Seasons, keeping up its palatial standards as a luxury home away from home.
Something interesting that our guests always mention to us is that when they come to us, they don't feel in a hotel. Obviously, we provide all those services, but more importantly, they have a sense of a residence. It's a home away from home. As you arrive into the lobby, you will not see a reception. Your first view will be our living room, where you can see the fireplace and the flowers. You will be escorted to your room and not have to check in at the counter. We have several personal assistants that take care of the smallest little details of our guests. Our goal is that if they're away from their affluent and busy lives, and we're still able to provide that kind of pampering and attention to detail that is so more strive for.
Switzerland has a deep tradition of superior service and takes their reputation for excellence very seriously. This is evident at the Four Seasons, where attention to detail is exaggerated. Even the waiters float around the Michelin star restaurant as if they were partaking in a perfectly rehearsed dance.
This all-new episode of WOW will be premiering in May. Tune into AWE or go online to awetv.com and look for it on our programming guide.
Thursday night is poker night on AWE. Catch all the action as 16 of the top competitors from the poker world compete for a piece of the $2 million prize and the right to be called champion in one of the most prestigious poker tournaments in the world. Catch every heart-wrenching moment. Watch an all-new episode of Premier League Poker every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern, only on AWE.
Did you know, in addition to AWE TV in high definition, AT&T U-verse has a huge HD channel lineup. AT&T U-verse offers one of the best values in the industry for access to high-def programming and delivers more HD channels than cable. Call AT&T U-verse today to get access to over 130 high-definition channels. There's something for everyone.
I'm Ty Sawyer. I'm a traveler, writer, and a photographer, and I'm always on assignment. My work takes me to the planet's most remote, real, and raw outposts in search of another shade of blue.
We're back with a wealth of entertainment, and host Angie Bala is giving us exclusive access into 4 coastal compounds, from a San Diego penthouse to a beachfront home made of stone. Let's go behind the gates.
Behind these gates is a world that many of us have only dreamed of. Until now, because today I'm giving you exclusive access into 4 coastal domains with high dollar price tags. A downtown San Diego high-rise that's the epitome of loft living. A private Laguna Beach home that's carved into a rock. A downtown San Diego palatial penthouse. A home on one of the finest properties in Orange County, California. That's all coming up on Behind the Gates. Our first stop takes us to Laguna Beach. Famous for its laid-back lifestyle, Laguna is the essence of a surf town. And because of its incredible location on Pacific Coast Highway, you can always find the perfect wave. Along with a prime location, there's a lot of history behind the architecture of this home. It's called the Rock House for a reason. It's literally carved out of a rock. And from the side, it blends in so well, you can't even see it's there.
The style of the house, it needed to be organic because we were putting a building inside of this rock formation. And so I choose to use materials and colors that reference the ocean. And so the best way to do that is introduce it right in the beginning when you open the door.
With the sound of waterfalls at the entryway and the rock as your floor, this home is true to the elements of its surroundings. A jewel that expresses the connection to the ocean. It almost feels like you're in an abalone shell.
You see the iridescent kind of abalone colors that you would see on an open shell of an abalone, and that's what we did also with some of the floor finishes. The terrazzo floors actually have abalone and nautilus within them. So we were using a lot of the elements from the sea to bring it back into the house.
Here in what I call the mermaid home, the kitchen is meant for a chef.
If you don't like to cook, you don't like the kitchen. It's a place to really enjoy cooking, literally in the round, and enjoying the view as well. So it's set up so that people can participate in the round and enjoy with the chef whatever's being made.
To see this brand new episode of Behind the Gates Coastal Compounds, you can catch it on AWE, a wealth of entertainment. That's all for us here on Spotlight. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more fantastic programming from AWE, check out Channel 470, or for high definition, Channel 1470, and enjoy a wealth of entertainment. We'll see you there.